Good day, welcome. On today's video, we will be having a look at my DT175F. We will be taking it apart, so I want to work on it a bit. Now the plan is to take it completely apart and take the frame to my brother's place. I want to take off all the unnecessary bongs and brackets and everything on the frame. If there are any on the swing arm as well, I want to repair, make it neat, repaint the frame, the swing arm, the forks, the triple trees, etc. I want to make the bike look nice. But before we get there, I need you to understand where this bike comes from. Now, I was looking through the classifieds a few years ago. I believe it was about 7 or 8 years ago, looking for a DT that I can have fun with off-road with my brother. He had one, so obviously I also wanted one. And now he had one that was, for a lack of a better word, atrocious. It was very bad. It looked horrendous, but it ran like hell. The bike was super powerful, it was strong, it was fast, it wanted to go. So I wanted to have a part of that fun. So started going through the classifieds and I found one. Now, he had the lighter shape DT. I found one with a flat tank, the older shape DT, which was not really what I was into. It's not what I wanted at that stage. But I had a look at it and I spoke to the owner a few times and I decided, you know what, let's go for it. So went through to the owner the afternoon. I purchased the bike for 4,000 Rand. Got home. My wife came out the back door. She said to me, is this the bike that you bought? I said, yes. He's like, did you pay 4,000 Rand for this? Guys, here's a photo. It was bad. It was bad. It was so bad, in fact. This was the piston. And it was in there as it is. No rings. The head gasket was made of a coffee can. I kid you not, it was a coffee can. That was the head gasket. And no, it did not run. Okay? So the bike didn't run. So I had to spend some serious time with it. There was a small crack on the bottom of the engine, so I had no choice. I had to steel putty the engine at the bottom, but it's fine, there's no leaks. The engine was lighter after it decided to give up after a few hours of riding. I tore down the engine completely, gave it a full refresh, new bearings, new seals. The motor looks beautiful inside. There's nothing wrong with the engine. I struggled severely with the reed teats. In fact, this is what was in the reed valve. Finally, I found proper reed teats for it about a month ago, and I have installed it. And for the first time since I've owned the bike starts on a kick. So it's not necessary to run with the bike anymore down the hill to get it started. So that's point number one. I'm not going to open the engine. Okay? The engine is rebuilt, as I said. I want to paint here and there, but I'll see how I'm going to do that. What I want to do is I want to give the bike a refresh. Now you'll see the bike was severely abused in its previous life, okay, before me. Someone decided it would be awesome if they take scissors to it and cut off all the electrical components, all the wiring. So what is there is the harness consists of, from the stator, it runs to the coil, and from the coil it runs to the kill switch. That's it. Everything was stripped off the bike. So the original tailpiece of the bike was drilled full of holes. So I decided to ditch that and just put the universal tailpiece on it. The front mudguard was a horrible thing that was on there. I took that off. I put a little number plate at the front because there was no fairing. That's a little skew. I'll make a plan to have it fastened if better than it is. I've also installed rear view mirrors because being used to road riding, I cannot ride a bike without mirrors. And with my brother always with me on the bike, around me with his bike, I need to see where he is at all times so that we can ride safely. So that's one thing that I've installed on it. Then I had to cover the seat myself, which doesn't look great, but it does the job. It's covered, it's no more full of holes. Then what I want to do is I want to take the bike apart. I want to give attention to the frame. The frame is bad, you'll see. I want to remove all the additional lugs and brackets and everything. If there's anything on the frame that doesn't need to be there, it's coming off. I'm going to make the frame smooth. I'm going to smooth it out. I'm going to sand it nicely. I'm going to paint it. I haven't decided yet on white, blue, or black, but that'll come. Then the same with the swing arm. The forks also needs attention. The forks will go silver, and the dust caps over the dust seals needs a lot of attention. They are steel. They are severely rusted. I need to make it nice. There's a couple of things that you'll see that really needs attention. I did paint the bike previously, but it was with rattle cans. And guys, I've put the bike through off-roading, enduro style riding. That's what I've been doing with the bike. I have always respected the bike because I know the bike is older than me. I do not want to abuse it. So yes, but there's damage because we've been off-roading with the bike. So it needs some freshening up. Now I just want to stipulate here, guys. The intention of this refresh is not to go to the quail. It's not to go and try and win conquest competitions with the bike. Okay, I just want the bike to look better than it does, because at the end of the day, this bike is going to my son. Okay, my son is riding a little DS80, but he's fast outgrowing that bike. So this bike is going to my son. I want him to have a bike that he can depend on. Okay, I want it to look better than it does. I'll send a few of the parts for plating, so forth, but I want to paint the triple trees, the forks, the frame, the stand, and the swing arm. If we decide later on to paint the tank and so forth, we'll have a look at that. But I think it's time. Let's go out. Let's get cracking. Okay, so as you can see, here she is. You can see the rust on the frame and stuff. A bit of rust, but the engine looks good. The engine, there's nothing wrong with the engine. This is what I've put on here with a few cable ties there. See here, there's the cable ties. I put Enduro in a different shade of that blue. Same with the Yamaha. So it's just barely noticeable. With the Yamaha logo also. This thing is horrendous, but it is what it is. This one still has a boot on it. This one does not. If you can have a look at what that looks like. Doesn't look good at all. So what happens here is I have a bicycle speedometer here, and it runs down this boot there. So what I want to do is I want to put that on the other side of the bar, this side. There's actually a phone holder there. I want to run that on this side so that I can run the wiring down this front brake cable. You can see what this thing looks like. It's never been loved, this bike. So I want to just make it look better. Look at this weld. This weld marking on the frame. That needs to come off. There's a lot of little things that we need to do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this bike and take it completely apart. And then we'll take it from there.